Okay guys, so here is my box of goodies. Or I guess you could call it just a box of crap. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here that is super old. And I need to figure out what I need and what I don't need. I found a couple of twisty cable ties that I intend to use to my advantage. But, yeah. Let's do it. So, excuse me. This thing is a wireless adapter I used to use when I did night security. I used to take my gaming laptop to work, and I used to use this on a long extended USB cable to connect to a router that was nearby for Wi-Fi. Nowadays I definitely don't need it. It's only on 2.4 gigahertz frequency, which is pretty old, and it sells for like nothing, but I have a sneaking suspicion that I will need a wireless adapter one day. So I will probably keep this one. Just purely because it'll probably come in handy at some point. A few of these are already zip tied, which is cool. So this is a good quality Ethernet cable. I guess good quality, I don't know. It looks okay. I'm gonna keep that because you don't know when you're gonna need an Ethernet cable. This is a HDMI to HDMI, which I got with the HTC Vive, but I didn't need it because I had a lot of HDMI cables anyway. And I'm gonna use my convenient twisty cable for this one. So that's that one sorted out. I have used a strangely long zip tie for this very, 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 very short micro USB cable. I do not know why I have this. I don't know in what situation that is ever going to be useful. So I'm probably going to put that in the bin. This here is a PCI Express power supply cable. So this side goes into your power supply unit, PSU. And this side goes into a graphics card or PCIe. And I like that way you would have two graphics cards plugged in. So yeah, it's good enough to power two. Obviously I currently have my graphics card powered up, so I don't need this, but I think you never know when you're going to need more PCIe cables, so I will keep this. It does seem like a bit of a waste of a cable tie. Did I see an elastic band here before? I think I might have seen an elastic band on my mouse mat. Yes, I did. Sweet, because I think that will come in very handy. I might double fold this if I can get away with it. Oh, it doesn't want to be double folded. I don't think this is going to work well at all, but we'll try it. Oh, the elastic band has snapped. Never mind. It seems like such a waste of a cable tie, but we'll go for it. Whatever we have to do. You do what you do when you do it. Okay, well, that's annoying because that's definitely a waste. Here we have a optical audio cable, which I used to use for Turtle Beaches. I can use it on my current headphones, but my setup doesn't really allow it, so I'm just gonna hope this isn't too loud. Not too bad. I've just lost the rest of that in this drawer somewhere, so that's fantastic. So, I'm gonna keep this because that's always a good cable to have lying around. This, I believe, is my 3.5mm extender cable. I bought this to use with my HTC Vive. Unfortunately, it wasn't long enough for what I was trying to do with the Vive, so in the end, yeah, not using it, but I think there's always use for one of these bad boys, so I'm definitely going to keep this cable. Okay, let's wrap this bad boy up. I am gonna have to use a long cable tie, which I have conveniently got right here. Only bad thing about this is I do have to use my scissors, which is definitely a pain in the backside. Okay, so I hope this isn't too loud. I will edit that in post if it is. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. I think it might fly off somewhere though. Okay, that's not terrible. 3.5 extender cable, always needed. Next cable is a 3.5 to 2.5mm cable, which came in handy when I had tail beaches and I was using it for like Xbox 2, PS3, Xbox 2, like the Xbox controller basically. And I also used the tail beaches with my PS3 back in the day. So this is always a useful cable for any kind of headphones that you ever get. It's 2.5mm. It's a good little conversion cable, really. So I'm gonna keep that. To be fair, this is actually quite a lot tighter than I thought it was. I got a micro USB again, and micro USBs are always good to keep, but I just think this is way too small in length to justify. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna keep that just because it's just such a waste of length. Like it's that to that, like it's nothing. So that one will be pinned. So next we have a mini USB, but again, like super small length. Like there's no need for that at all. So I'm gonna get rid of that straight away. Don't even need to think about that. This is a power adapter for God knows what. Like I do not know what this plugs into. I must have used it before for something. It might have been my USB extender actually, but you don't actually need a power supply for it, so that's pointless. So I'm gonna bin that. I fear that we have again another tiny micro USB, which we definitely do. No, what is that? Yeah, micro USB. Again, just a kind of useless length, really. So I'm gonna get rid of that because I'm not gonna use that. It's just too short, way way too short. Like way too short. Now we've got ourselves a tablet. Right, this graphics card is very old, HD 6570, and yeah, it's seen better days, I guess you could say. So I think we will actually try and sell this to the company I work for and get a couple of pounds for it. A little bit of money is always nice, especially when it's just like sitting around in your drawer. So yeah, let's get rid of that onto my pile of stuff. The next thing is a mini USB, which again is just really short, and I probably used it for my Yeti at some point. But now it's like, I don't think I'm ever going to use this again. Just generally, I use longer cables for my Yeti now because it just makes more sense, you know. So let's get rid of this one. Okay. So, next up we have, wow, a micro USB cable, ladies and gentlemen, that we can use to do many things with, but at a very short distance. So again, that is going straight in the bin. So we have another Turtle Beach cable, and again it's 2.5 to 3.5, but it's a chat cable, so this is quite good for PlayStation 4 to use, because you have your mute switch and everything else going on, so definitely keep that because I do still use that from time to time. Another Ethernet cable. Tempted to throw these away, but like, yeah, I'm not always going to be super far from my router, hopefully in life, so I will keep this because they're always useful. Next up is a micro USB cable again that is just ridiculously short in length. I don't know how this is ever going to help me. It's always good to have like one data transfer micro USB just for like situations. So yeah, I might actually keep this one. I've got a couple though. Okay, so I don't need that many, but I am gonna be a pure order and keep this one. So let me use my obnoxiously long cable tie. I should have bought more of these, really. I should have bought more of these. Alas, I did not. And now we are left with the very minimal amount I have left. Oh, that was tough. Okay, cool. So here is a HDMI to DisplayPort cable, in which it still has the caps on because it was like overkill. I didn't actually need it for my Yeti, but yeah, still always handy to have these around. With modern day graphics cards like abandoning HDMI and just go into DisplayPort. My two monitors are not DisplayPort because I'm lame. So here's another micro USB, and this one and the previous one are the only micro USBs I'm going to keep that aren't like Samsung fast chargers that I already have plugged in to my walls. I will use these for any kind of future devices I might need to connect instead of having to get them out of my wall. So we'll keep these on hand just in case. I actually could do with some elastic bands instead of these, because I feel like if I ever need to reuse these, it's a nightmare because I've just wasted all this time. But for now, I don't plan on using them. So again, we have a mini USB, which is again just short, but I've binned all my other mini USBs, so I'm going to keep hold of this one just because one day it'll come to me needing one and I will have binned all of my mini USBs. So let's get this wrapped up in a nice cable tie. And I'm going to keep stopping talking when I do this because I think I might need to quieten the volume down of these, so yeah, that's why I don't say anything when doing it. It makes it easier to lower the volume if I say nothing. A SATA cable, which I didn't cut the long bit off there. It's not actually tied up very tight, but we'll take it for now. So yeah, that is, you probably know what a SATA cable's for by now. I think everyone does these days. This is a headphone splitter, but annoyingly, I bought the wrong one. It's a 2.5mm headphone splitter. I don't know where I got this from, or why I got this, or what the idea was, or if it was a mistake. I don't know. Will I ever need that? I don't think I'll ever need a 2.5mm splitter. Wouldn't really make sense to me, so I'm going to bin that actually. Again, here we have another obnoxiously short micro USB, which I am going to take this twisty. I'm going to steal this twisty cable tie and pin this bad boy. Next up, another power supply cable that connects to a CPU. If you can see that, there you can. So yeah, definitely keep that because that's nice to have as a spare. Here we have what looks like a 2.5mm to 2.5mm. God, I really did go for a 2.5mm phase at some point. I don't see myself ever needing this, but I do have a nice twisty cable tie. And with this twisty cable tie, I will happily keep hold of this on a probationary period until the next time I go through my wire drawer. Because obviously, there's a lot of videos out there of like what's in my handbag. This is like what's in my stupid technology-ish drawer. So now we know this has been here the whole time and we've avoided it, but now we are braving it. Oh, a twisty tie. I found a twisty tie. So this is a IDE extender bridge, I think. So I think the idea is to plug that into a motherboard and it extends your IDE port. So if you have something that plugs into an IDE that you don't have room for, like the width in between other devices, then you would extend. So you'd plug this in and you could plug this into your IDE device and have it sitting elsewhere, sort of around. I do not plan to use IDE drives ever again. I don't think anybody in the world, well, I guess there are some people, but yeah, IDE is completely dead now. So I will happily bin this bad boy. Provided many use back in the day. Here we have what looks to be some static proof packaging that annoyingly I can't seem to. Okay, there's some sellotape on it, that's why. So this might actually, I think this must have been like a motherboard because this is big. I thought it was like a hard drive or something, but this looks like a big package. Don't say it. Okay, I'm actually gonna put this old graphics card in there, just so that we can actually sell the graphics card. I look super professional. Like, look at me. I've had it in the static proof packaging for a very long time. And nice and safe. Yeah. Again, a little bit too much packaging. Nice and static proof. I don't know if that's a real thing. We've used a twisty on this one, and this is a DSL cable, which nowadays you get with like most routers and stuff. So I don't know, like, can I actually just, yeah, go to that a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if I will ever use this again. I mean, I'm most likely to be in a position at some point where I have a router. But yeah, I don't know if I will. There is a nice twisty at stake. I don't think I've got that many of the cables to tie up, so we probably don't need this twisty. So I will keep this and probably need it in the future. That was not good. So here we have a 2.5 to 3.5, which again, I do not know why I have so many of these, but again, we do have a spare twisty. So I'm going to use a twisty on this cable and just boopity-boops, dumb. Keep it, because I don't know why, but I'm just going to keep it. Here we have a PSU again, a cable that powers a PCIe times 2. So if I ever go crazy and have 4 graphics cards, you know what's cracking. I've got the cables. Not a problem. I think there's a lot of stuff in here from my flashing days when I used to flash Xbox 360s. So we're going to see some of that. This, I believe, is just a 4GB laptop RAM stick. I don't know what brand it is, to be honest. Oh, Kingston. Yeah. Kingston, and it's a 4GB stick. Yeah. overselling that, so I should probably get onto that, but now I can't get it back into its packaging. Okay, there we go. So yeah, 4 GB of laptop RAM. You never know. You just never know. But definitely gonna sell it. But you never know. But definitely gonna sell it. So, as we have an old phone here, which is crazy. I forgot about this phone. Got a screen protector on it and everything, I think. What was missing? I think there was something broken on it. But I can't remember what. Oh, the camera. Yeah, that's interesting. It actually has battery too. This is fantastic. I'm totally gonna check out some old stuff on there. I'm worried it's gonna make a noise now. So I'm going to put that to the side because it might make some kind of tone. We've got some cat biscuits in here, which is always good. Another SATA cable, in which I've lazily tucked in the long bit of the zip tie. Don't you dare make a sound, don't you dare. Okay, it's in airplane mode. Whoa, holy crap. This phone has... Oh, can you see that? I don't know. It's got 100% battery. Like, what in the hell? How has that happened? That's amazing. I do not understand that at all. I mean, I guess it's been turned off, but like, that means I must have charged it and then turned it off directly at 100, which is just weird. I don't know. That blows me away. I'm a simple man. What is this? So this was my flashing, well, it's part of my flashing kit from back in the day. I might actually have to get another 360 to play some older games, but yeah. So this was my USB to SATA, which I used to connect the Xbox 360 drives to my computer. And that's how I would flash them. So that's quite a cool little kit to keep on standby. And I'm actually going to... You never know what you'll need. This old bad boy again, dear. Like, you never know. You never know. Someone might want that 360 doing. One day. I'm going to use one of my last remaining cable ties and lock this sucker away for good. And again, I will refrain from speaking while I zip tie, just so I can lower the volume if it's a bit too much. If I can actually get this zip tie on, that'd be awesome. Good memories with that one. Good memories. So this was actually a part of the kit too. So this was something like a probing switch. So you would connect this side to a Molex power supply, and you would plug this into the back of the 360 drive itself. And this, what you would have to do is this would power cycle a drive. So you would hold this in, and you would have to probe a pin on the disk drive's motherboard. And as you probed it, you let go, and you power cycled the drive, and then let go. And it basically took all the information from the drive onto the computer and allowed you to modify it, which is really cool. I really miss those kind of days. There's an eject button for the drive and a mode switch, which would switch the drive into flashing mode or just normal mode. That's cool as hell. I'm definitely gonna keep that. I don't think I'll ever keep that, like, use it again, but like, it's just a huge nostalgia for me. Like, that's so cool. Just seeing that thing again. a really small SATA cable, which I do not think I'll keep. That one goes in the bin, the very full bin. This is a tool which, as you can see, has been well beaten in, and it was used for opening the 360s, at least the old fat 360s. So you'd have to get this in there and press down on certain pins, and yeah, it was really tough to open the old 360s until you got the knack, and then even then it was still tough, but yeah, that was the opening tool for it. And here we have a micro USB coupled with some earbuds for what I assume was some Bluetooth headphones that I bought. So I'm actually going to get the micro USB cable out of there, because I could probably use these earbuds as well. That one's gone. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about these cat biscuits, and it's just cat biscuits. That's cool. All right. So this was a similar thing to what I showed you a second ago. It was just sort of trying to make the whole process a little bit easier and compact it into a little unit. Didn't really need that. Don't think I ever really used it, but yeah. This is again, this is a micro USB to micro USB, which is used for like controllers and stuff. When you play Android games with a controller, you can do quite easily. This one is a Molex. I guess just sort of a dual Molex thing. So you'd connect that to your power supply, and you have two Molex power outputs. So you can power two Molex devices. I don't see myself ever using that, but it's already cable tied, so I'll keep that one together, I think. We have another SATA cable, but luckily we have another twisty. So I'm just going to twisty this one up real good. Here we have another Turtle Beach accessory. It was a, what are they called? Are they called phono? I think they're phono or something, I don't know. Audio, red and white audio to a 3.5mm input. So that was the way I used to really get sound on the old Turtle Beaches back in the day. But I don't think I'll ever need this, but I don't know, like stranger things have happened, you know. So I'm going to cut that off, and I'm going to keep a hold of that one. Another SATA cable in which I've lazily folded the long bit along. So yeah, I'll keep a tasty SATA cable. This is a controller mount for your phone. It's for the PS4 controller. So you put your PS4 controller on it, and you can then mount your phone inside this unit here, and play Android games. And this sort of locks into place around your PS4 controller. I used to again use this when I was on night shifts. I don't think I'll ever use this again because it is such a nightmare to get off. Like, it stays on your controller like crazy. So I'm going to try and fit this in my massively full bin. This is a sort of fan power splitter. So I used it in my previous computer build to power multiple fans, but then I found a better like onboard controller that you can sort of screw into your motherboard sort of thing, or screw into your case and control via software rather than just like all being powered but like having no control over them. So with that, I will probably bin that one. It's very thick and I'm not going to use it. This is a hard drive transfer cable. This was used on Xbox 360 to transfer contents of an old hard drive to a new one. That would plug into the top of the hard drive, or the bottom, sorry. And you transfer data that way, but do not need that. So we're down to our last bits, and again, this is more stuff to do with flashing. Flashing the Xbox 260. No, it wasn't. Wait, why is it a VGA? I don't know. I don't remember a VGA cable. I remember a serial cable. Is this a serial cable? Oh, it might be. Uh-oh, I don't know. Either way, what we're going to do is, again, we have ourselves a twisty in here. And I might try and... Okay, I can't get away with twisting it with a double fold. But at least with a two-fold. Okay, it's a triple fold. My bad. So, if we get this around here, we're just trying to also get that twisted up, and again, we'll keep that just because of stubbornness. Here are two very short SATA cables, which I am very sure I should never need. And then we have again another cable that's to do with flashing. I don't know what that did, I can't remember. But yeah, this is a SATA cable again. I don't know what this is. I must have got it on my MSI motherboard, and I probably kept it thinking it was going to be useful. I don't know what that is. It looks like maybe an SLI ribbon. Yeah, wow, I just guessed it and it's right there. SLI ribbon, so you link your two graphics cards with that, that's cool. I'm going to keep that because I do plan to get a second 1070. Another 2.5 to 2.5. It's already cable tied, so I'm going to keep it just because I don't really need any more cable ties. Some more earbuds for headphones, that's always useful. Oh, some more as well. I've got plenty of these. I do buy Bluetooth headphones a lot though, so to replace them. We have some thermal paste here. This is Cooler Masters Master Gel. I'm going to keep that just because you always need thermal paste. A magnetic or adhesive bike reflector light. Don't need that. A very short micro USB. Again, do not need that. And here we have a Molex to something. Don't want that. And that's again something else to do with flashing that I do not remember. Here is a Torx T8 and Torx T10 screwdriver. So yeah, that was used to get the screws out of the 360 casing that was attached to the motherboard. This is another mini USB, which I'm going to keep, but I'm going to get rid of this bag because otherwise it will confuse me. And there we have it. Oh. So we have another Torx screwdriver, kind of Allen key. Don't know which version it is or which number, but we'll keep that. Always come handy. And here we have another cable from MSI, which I must have got with a motherboard again. find something to do with SLI, so I'll keep that. And that's it. We are through my technology drawer, or my wires drawer. I do have another drawer. It's got a lot of CDs in it, and a lot of sort of other bits and bobs, and yeah, just like old CDs and controllers and some games. So I need to go over that drawer at some point. I believe I will record that one tomorrow. Hopefully. No promises. Yeah. It's good to tidy up. It's good to tidy up. Thank you for checking out the video. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you relaxed at least for 1 millisecond at some point. If you made it this far, my hat goes off to you, and I appreciate you sticking with me. Whatever you do, hope you have a great day, night, evening, morning, whatever you're doing. If you're trying to sleep, sleep well, and sweet dreams.